Okay, so I think I called this class the poetry of embodiment because we're going to use a poem today. Um, I feel like poetry is such a great way to enter into our body. And when it's poetry that's particularly embodied, it can be very magical. And so a lot of times we talk about the elements or the earth or the water. And this poem really just offers it in a different way. And I also think that currently our English language and the way that we talk about body and embodiment and movement is very mechanical and dualistic, very Cartesian. So when we bring in this poetry, the idea is to really invite the organic, biomorphic nature of being alive and how life burgeons within our own system, within our own body. And so I'm going to use this poem by Alicia Barman, who is I think she's a somatic experiencer, but she's also a teacher of many things and somebody that I've been pinging back and forth with, following each other through the pandemic. And she wrote this poem that I just feel like is so beautiful. So throughout this session, I'll probably just read this poem a few times and maybe talk about my experience or what I am noticing, what I'm feeling into as we go on. But I'll repeat it a couple of times. I feel like the power of words are so magical, and the way that we use language, or the way that it really reflects how we conceive of the world. So to invite this idea that we can really compost through our bodies, we can really process our experience and compost some of that material with this idea. So just focusing in on your breath, I'm going to read it to you this first time, and I'll read it a few more times before it's over. Plant your pelvis on the ground. Unfurl your tendrils down, down, down. So deep, the earth's heart beats as your own. Your magma core fueling your truth. Your roots animated by the breath of all beings within beings, within beings, within beings. So deep, you remember yourself beyond form, into the self of no self, the self that breaches your skin suit into the mystery, the periphery where biome nebulizes into sunlit dewdrops, infusing your lymphocytes with the truth of who you really are. Bone marrow trembling with the remembering, surrendering you onto the ground as you crumble to loam and earth yourself home. So just take that in, feel into it, and invite any kind of bubbling up micro movement, any kind of breath patterning, any kind of expression to come forth through your body. I'll read it again right away because I feel like we just hear it one time, it sort of lands. The next time it can become the music or the score of our experience. A recipe to become medicinal. Plant your pelvis on the ground. Unfurl your tendrils. Down, down, down. So deep, the earth's heart beats as your own. Your magma core fueling your truth. Your roots animated by the breath of all beings within beings, within beings, within beings. So deep, you remember yourself beyond form, into the self of no self. The self that breaches your skin suit into the mystery. The periphery where biome nebulizes into sunlit dewdrops, infusing your lymphocytes with the truth of who you really are. Bone marrow trembling with the remembering, surrendering you onto the ground as you crumble to loam and earth yourself home. Letting that really land. Let's work with a hum today so that we can feel the vibration in our bodies. I think we're going to go back and forth between closed mouth and open mouth, but first starting with our mouths closed, just letting the sound vibrate in our bodies. If it's too much, if it's too activating or feels like too much effort, feel free just to focus on your breath in any way. But if it feels good, let's work with the hum. Inviting your tendrils to unfurl deep down into the earth. Resting breaths whenever you need them. Allowing your tongue to shapeshift within your mouth. Maybe it changes the way that you hear or sense the vibration. So feel free to let the tongue have some fluid wave-like motion. Inviting into your experience your own embodied medicine, your own medicine of what you need to feel connected within yourself. Whatever nourishment you can take in on this physical level of breath, of movement, of connection, even in this field of connection that we're within. So I want to work with the kind of cave mouth breath. So it's going to be probably without vocal cords. And you're just going to let your mouth open, close, like you are a cave at the edge of the water and the water's coming in and moving. So there's wind, water, earth in your cave, and maybe the fire of life, the fire of spirit. And you can let your cave mouth be very morphic. So it's changing shape, changing the spatial configuration of your face, letting go of whatever pattern you have of being you as much as you feel comfortable with, and just becoming this organic, earthy creature or cave. For me, there's something about the aspirated sound and feel of that breath that has no vocal cord sound that really takes me into like the mists, into the thin veiled places, or into the time of legend, the time of mythology, the mythic times. Because there's so much energy and sensation, but it's not, doesn't have that push of the vocal cords, of that deeper vibration. So it becomes like more diffused and more, I want to say spacious, or there's more possibility. My imaginal realms just open up with that. So inviting that in. Any kind of movement that feels interesting, or stillness from any position. Inviting in the medicinal recipe, and I'll read it one more time. So again, this is a poem by Alicia Barman, who you can follow on Instagram. And it is called A Recipe to Become Medicinal. Plant your pelvis on the ground. Unfurl your tendrils. Down, down, down. So deep, the earth's heart beats as your own. Your magma core fueling your truth. Your roots animated by the breath of all beings within beings, within beings, within beings. So deep, you remember yourself beyond form, into the self of no self. The self that breaches your skin suit into the mystery, the periphery where biome nebulizes into sunlit dewdrops. Infusing your lymphocytes with the truth of who you really are. Bone marrow trembling with the remembering. Surrendering you onto the ground as you crumble to loam and earth yourself home. So I'm going to add music, and this is Jeff Gersh, Ambient Fields. This is volume 2. Oh no, it's volume 04, and it's song number 2. And I believe this was made in Iceland. So we're going to travel into the Viking realms, maybe. Letting the music shape you, letting your body shape you, letting your imagination shape you, and feeling that connection deep down into the heart of the earth. If you come to moments where you know where you're going, just pause and then go somewhere else, moving into the unknown. Composting the patterns that you're ready to compost. Inviting in your own recipe for the medicinal body. Creating your own spell for healing or for being. Walking more gently on the earth, walking more gently with yourself. just want to share a practice that I have sort of discovered or unearthed of late. And that is when I notice what I can feel in myself, maybe I feel my nervous system or my heartbeat or whatever, all the sensation that I can feel. When I notice what I can feel, I try to relax into what I cannot feel. So I try to relax all the sensation of what I feel into the spaciousness that I can't feel. And I feel like somehow that just opens up something totally new for me, like more capacity for stillness, more space for being. But imagining that whatever it is you feel, you're going to relax that into all of you that you cannot feel. It's like you're pouring yourself into the spaciousness, relaxing yourself into what isn't known. going to read it one last time. This poem by Alicia Barman. A recipe to become medicinal. Plant your pelvis on the ground. Unfurl your tendrils. Down, down, down. So deep, the earth's heart beats as your own. Your magma core fueling your truth. Your roots animated by the breath of all beings within beings. Within beings. Within beings. So deep, you remember yourself beyond form, into the self of no self, the self that reaches your skin suit into the mystery, the periphery where biome nebulizes into sunlit dewdrops, infusing your lymphocytes with the truth of who you really are. Bone marrow trembling with the remembering. Surrendering you onto the ground as you crumble to loam and earth yourself home. turn that down. Give us a few more minutes just to be in your own silence, in the silence of your own experience, with or without movement, giving yourself a little bit of time to process in whatever way you need to do that. We could say that all of this work is processing. But sometimes it's nice to let it land. Coming into sensation. In whatever way feels interesting to you. I'm going to end the live stream. So if you were here in TV land, I see there's a person there. Thank you so much for joining us. And I will put Alicia's name in the name of her poem in the comment section underneath or in the description. I just want to say that for me, words have so much magic and so much potency, and recipes, spells, poems, all of these are like ways of putting together things that I find amazing, right? Or how do you plant the plant and do it just the right way? Like everything has the recipe to make it the best possible. So what is the recipe for your life? What is the medicine that you can create in your own body, in your own life right now? That's